Howdy, I'm Repsy, and this is the speed paint that y'all requested on my Insta. Hold on, let me get my water. I know I promised you guys a different sort of drawing, but that one was on my computer and I wasn't able to get my voiceover to work because the video file got corrupted, and I really didn't want to have to sit through another 2 hours of it having to render after I sped it up 400% for this speed paint, because even with the 400% speed up, it was a solid like 20 minutes. So I didn't want you guys to have to sit through 20 minutes of me stuttering my ass off. So now I'm doing it on iMovie with a time lapse that Procreate takes. Y'all want to hear about my character creation process, and that's it's kind of difficult because most of my characters have a very different process. Like, some of them are made to just kind of fit roles that I liked or that I wanted, and some of them are just based off of ancient cultures in a way. And some of them are just kind of things that occurred. Like, one thing that I will say is Asuka. She was actually made because I wanted a character that I could just put a bunch of modern fancy clothes on, and I didn't really have to give an excuse for that. So that's why she started out as like a punk kind of biker chick. But then I started getting a lot into Overwatch, and I became a Widowmaker main, and then Widowmaker started influencing a lot of my design and my lore for her, and that's why she is now who she is. And yeah, so a lot of my characters happen to usually just kind of shift based on what is around me. I usually start off with something like ancient culture, or the two main things that I usually base my characters off of are animals and ancient cultures. Those are my two main things, such as like characters like Kissimi are based off of ancient cultures. Like, she was based off of the Inuits, and characters like Laqueta, or a soon upcoming character that I have for a Dungeons and Dragons thing, Aquila. She's based off of the secretary bird, and like, when I do base it off of a culture or an animal, I usually think, okay, like, what do they represent? What do they wear? What are their values? What do they usually act like? How do they behave? Where do they live? That kind of thing. Like, most of my characters have a solid combat aspect to them too. So, like, if it's an animal, I'll think, like, okay, how does this animal hunt? How does it, like, stealth? That kind of thing. So, for the secretary bird one, Aquila, she has very powerful legs. She bases a lot of her strength off of her legs. So, she's, she's a very strong leg person, does a lot of kick, lots of basically taekwondo, but, like, desert version. Yeah. And then when it comes to design, for ancient, like, cultures, that's pretty self-explanatory. I just fit whatever role they are. Like, if they're rich, I'll, like, if they're rich, I'll give them a lot of stuff that would show richness, and I'll make it so that they fit the climate, that kind of thing. But for an animal, it's a little bit more complicated, so I still want them to represent what animal they look like. So, like, for the secretary bird one, secretary birds have like a little orange mask looking thing, so I just gave her orange face paint. It looks like their hair is their feathers on their head are slicked back, so I made her pull back her hair, kind of, so it's out of their face and that kind of thing. And I gave her feathery hair. Most of my bird-based characters have very feathery hair because they're birds. And long legs, that kind of thing. Yeah, I just first I base it off of, like, the role. I want them to fit their role, I want them to fit their environment, and I want them to be able to obtain the tools that they need to be the best, whatever they can be, because that just feels practical to me. So I'll just work on that. And then after that, I'll start putting colors to those like gears, and I'll just start going at it and trying to make it look as good as possible while still letting my inspirations and like what I base it off of hold on and like keep prominence and like just kind of make everything look nice and mesh together. Most of my designs are pretty sleek and elegant, so that's like my main go-to when I want to make everything mesh, because I don't know, it just looks smooth. It's nice and it's simple and it's easy to draw. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do when I go through my character design process. I hope you enjoyed my speed paint, and yeah, thank you and good night.